Welcome to the Junior Golf Podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping parents and juniors navigate through the journey of junior golf. From fitness to mental coaching, we cover it all on this podcast. Here's your host, Ro Thompson.
Four, three, two, one. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Junior Golf Podcast. My name is Ro Thompson. Man, we got a special guest on the podcast this afternoon. We got none other than the great Chuck Higgins from the PGA Junior League. Hey, Chuck, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great, Ro. Thanks so much for having me on your podcast.
Hey, listen, thank you for being on, man. It's a pleasure having you on. My son, he's been through the Junior PGA League until I think he aged out at some point. But he had a great experience with the PGA Junior League. But before we get into all the PGA Junior stuff, man, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into some PGA Junior stuff in just a few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a member of the PGA of America. I've been a member for over 25 years. Spent quite a bit of time in golf operations, but have worked for the PGA of America for the last 11 years, and currently serve in the role of the director of PGA Junior League. And it's something that, Junior League's in my heart. I love it. Not only do I work for the PGA in this role, but I'm also a PGA Junior League coach. I've got a program, the University Park Pythons. And then my two boys, I have twin boys that are third graders. Okay. And so they participate on the Pythons. And so, I see it from work, I see it from coach, and I see it from parent, the lens. And it's something that I really enjoy. So
that's great. That's great, man. So how did you get in the game of golf?
I grew up in Southern California, and we grew up near a little local par 3, and my brother and I would get dropped off at the par 3, and they had milkshakes and pinball machines and this, wonderful little golf course. And we really started to enjoy it and pestered my dad, who was raising 5 kids and working 2 jobs and, had a to-do list at the apartment complex on the weekends. So his solution, as we pestered him to play golf, his solution was to get me a job as a caddy at Annandale Country Club, which is in Pasadena, California. And so I was an 8th grader and kind of walked into this world of that I knew nothing about, and was just quickly, my love for the game really took off. The PGA Golf Professional was a past president of the PGA, Pat Riley, and he welcomed the caddies to play the golf course on Mondays. And, so being able to do that and being just immersed in this world, that's where my love for the game really took off. And played high school golf, college golf, and then became a PGA Golf Professional.
Okay. And you played golf at University of California?
Yeah, UC Davis, University of California at Davis. So spent 4 years on the golf team there, and it was just a perfect fit of mixing, pretty competitive golf with a good education. And so really loved my time at Davis.
Great. And did you have any dreams of taking it to the next level, or you just wanted to keep it about right there?
Well, you always have those dreams of wanting to go. I think that my ceiling was, fairly evident. And so, I think college golf and I was never good enough to really make playing at the next level a reality. So it was just kind of a perfect combination. Now, it was a Division II school. I was a 2-time All-American. I was inducted into the UC Davis Golf Hall of Fame. Okay. So, there's some skins on the wall. But at the same time, I was playing against the Corey Pavins and Duffy Waldorfs and, many guys that went on. And it was pretty clear the separation at that point.
Hey, well, that's okay. It's okay to dream,
Yes.
Okay. So how did you get your start with the PGA Junior League?
So 2012, I was hired by the PGA of America in a role that was known as the Player Development Regional Manager. So really, I was a field representative to help PGA golf professionals. And in my region was Northern Texas, Southern Texas, and the South Central. So right here, kind of in Texas. But help them engage in programs that the PGA of America was bringing forth. And we had PGA Junior League had just come on the scene, and so it was something that I was helping get activated in the area. But I had a stepson. I have a stepson. He's a freshman in college at OU, and he was playing every sport but golf. And so here was this team opportunity,
Right.
and he really wasn't interested in golf. Played baseball, played basketball, all the different sports. But when I approached him, I said, "Hey, Luke, you play on these different teams. How would you like to have a golf team? How play on a golf team?" And like right away, he like, "Hey, what would our name be? Who would my friends be? Who would the colors be? Like all of these things." Like immediately, it wasn't, "No, I don't really like golf." It was he saw the world of possibility of who he'd be playing with, and the colors, and all of that. And so from there, it just really kind of morphed into, we embraced it. We created the Pythons, and now my third graders are playing on the team. So it really kind of started with that.
It's a beautiful thing. As I was telling you earlier, my son played on the PGA Junior League a few years ago. And I think the thing that he really liked about it, Chuck, was it took the pressure off of him to make all the best shots. He didn't have to make all the best shots. He didn't have to make all the best putts. He did, fortunately, but he I think he loved that of not just having all the pressure on just him per se.
Yeah, I think that's really truly some of the magic of PGA Junior League is that it is a supportive format, right? Playing that scramble format, you've got someone that's got your back. And so,
Yes.
we see that at the local league level, and we certainly see it at the highest level with the national championship in that. But I really think that, golf can be a lonely pursuit at times when you're a high performing junior golfer, because you show up and you're trying to beat everybody, whereas the team environment that Junior League offers really kind of flips the script on that. Now all of a sudden, you can be out there with your friends, out there with your teammates, and just like you do in all the other sports, enjoy that camaraderie of being with your buddies, being with your teammates, and having that supportive format. So I think that's so true.
That's right. That's right. And Chuck, what's the primary objective of the PGA Junior League?
Well, really, it's, first and foremost, to grow the game, to offer an opportunity for kids to begin their pathway into the game of golf, and clearly with the goal of helping them to become golfers for life, at whatever level, right? They may pursue their high school golf team, they may pursue, much higher aspirations, or they could just be, kids that are playing golf for the rest of their life. Now, the second thing is that, and this is just as important, is the opportunity to drive value and to showcase our PGA coaches, who really are the ones that make the magic come to life with PGA Junior League. So, the ability for PGA professionals who coach the programs, to find the opportunity to drive value to them and to their facilities, and just really to showcase their talents as the best coaches that are in the industry.
That's great. And how many? And you may not notice right off the top, but how many PGA Junior Leagues do you have across the country?
So let's look at 2022, right? Because the player registration for 2023 opened on February 1st. We're currently over 27,500 registrations for this year.
Wow. Is that up? Is that up over normal?
Yeah, it's trending up. It is trending up. The official season starts March 1st. So we're really just kind of in the early bell curve of, all of the activity. But looking back to 2022, we had over 2,400 PGA professionals coaching and leading the PGA Junior League. They did that at across 2,700 facilities and delivered over 4,600 programs. And to really kind of step back from that, I'm a PGA Junior League coach. I coach it at 2 facilities. We have the University Park Pythons, and we also had a delivery at a Scottish Rite Hospital for Children. But the programs where we had 4,600 programs, I'll run a spring program, a summer program, and a fall program. So you can see that, our PGA coaches have the opportunity to offer multiple seasons, also a championship season where they can. So that's how we get to the 4,600 programs. And we had over 71,000 registrations of boys and girls playing PGA Junior League in 2022. So again, it continued to trend upwards, and we really like where that's headed.
That's good. I think close to our area, they were the PGA champions this past fall. I mean, not was it fall or summer? Out of Charlotte, North Carolina, I believe.
Yeah, so Brent Renault, PGA professional Brent Renault, and his team from North Carolina, they sure did. They raised the trophy as national champions. So it's really been fun because in the early years, in the first 7 years, I think the only champions were from Georgia and California.
Okay.
And in 21, we had Utah hold the trophy, and in 22, we had North Carolina. So we're starting to spread it across the country, and that's fun to see.
Yeah, it's fun to see where the really good golfers are starting to be located now.
Yes, absolutely.
And so if I'm a parent, and you wanted to give parents a really good reason to get the kids into the PGA Junior League, what would you say that reason would be?
Well, I think that if we step back, look, I think that we would both agree that golf is just a wonderful game for what it stands for and something that you can do all your life. It's also something that you can do with multiple generations. So, how often do you have the opportunity to participate in a sport with your kids? So the opportunity to go to a golf course, with mom and dad, or even grandparents and multiple generations and that. So, and then I think the other thing is that golf stands for so much good, right? Like, I think that many of the inherent features in golf, keeping your own score and integrity and calling rules, and the social interaction with the people that you're playing with, it stands for something really, really good. So I think that introducing kids to something that is, athletic, it's outdoors, it's social, it's, has so many of these great features. I think that that's something that really should entice parents to want to embrace the game of golf.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it for those parents that are, trying to introduce the game and trying to get the kids to expose, especially with the large groups of kids that are out there, and they can kind of find their way, get comfortable with the game of golf. I think that's really important.
Very true.
That's good. And what's your experience been like, Chuck, with junior parents? And it, of course, it could go from insane to, normal, but what's been your experience like with junior parents?
Well, let me first start from my lens of being a PGA coach of the Pythons, right? It's been wonderful, right? Okay. This has been wonderful. And I will tell you that my program's pretty developmental. So we have a lot of kids. We had our first practice last night. We had kids that were 5 and 6 year olds that, through 14, that are, for the most part, just beginning their journey in the game of golf. And the parents love it. They, the reason I have 3 seasons is we used to do a summer season. The first question the parents would ask is, hey, when can we go again? When's the next season? And so it grew from that. Now, I think that, as the competition starts to increase and starts to get a little bit higher, you certainly can see, that there are times where parents can make it challenging, and that certainly does exist. But I think that true to heart. I think that all of us as parents, we want our kids to have fun and we want them to be with their friends and be doing things that they like. And, I see so much of that through PGA Junior League.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So, so if you could give any parent advice on how to make the junior golf journey smoother, what would be your number one piece of advice? Because once you really get into the game of golf, outside of PGA Junior League, it can get pretty intense with tournaments, lessons, registrations, the whole nine. What would be your advice to parents to make the journey smoother?
The first thing I would say is make sure to keep it fun, right? We get into athletics because the things that athletics can bring us, and the game of golf can bring us so many things, but it has to be fun. And the reason, in the minute that things start to go down a path where it's too serious and it's too difficult and it's overbearing and it becomes not fun, that's when the kids are at risk of leaving the game. So, I think first and foremost to make it fun. The second thing I'm going to say, Ro, is that I would highly encourage any parent that's going down that journey to connect with a PGA coach, right, to help them, allow them to be the expert guide to help you, through this journey. So it may be, here we are in the Northern Texas PGA section, connecting them with the opportunities that the junior tour has, whether it be 9-hole beginner events, 18-hole, elevated events, all the way through 36-hole All-American Tour events. So I think that the PGA coach not only is just an instructor, but also kind of is an expert guide to say, hey, did you know about the drive, chip, and putt that's coming up? Here's an opportunity for your kid to experience that. Do you know about, the junior tour and what's available there? And hey, you know what? These 3 kids over here would be a perfect fit for your kid to come out and, play the golf course with, and just all of that stuff that would allow that expert guide. I'll just keep going back to that term. I think the PGA professional and PGA coach can be that expert guide for your journey.
You're right about that, because they won't, at some point they do stop listening to the parents. So you need that PGA professional to tell them.
I can tell you that's in 3rd grade.
Yes.
Which is where my boys are. But so yes.
Right. So what's next for the PGA Junior League? What's to come down the road for the organization?
We've got some exciting things going on. The first and foremost, we've had an amazing run of the national championship at Greyhawk in Scottsdale. Okay. But this year will be the first year that it's hosted at the new facility, PGA Frisco. Okay. So not quite sure, Ro, how much you know about the PGA of America moving their headquarters to PGA Texas. Frisco. Yeah. But that that's the office that I office out of, and the 2 golf courses are going to be opened up here in May with the Senior PGA Championship that's coming to town. So that's really exciting that's going to be here on our campus at PGA Frisco. Greyhawk was an amazing partner, and we're certainly going to miss them. But this, certainly is exciting for the association. We've also introduced and announced a 17U national championship. So it's always been, you said that your son aged out. Yes. It's always been a 13U, 10 to 13-year-olds participate in the national championship. Mm-hmm. And as they, turn 14 through 17, now we're going to have the opportunity for them to play in a national championship. Okay. So pretty exciting things there. But we just continue to see the growth of the program and see the opportunities to, showcase our PGA professionals and just continue to build communities around the game of golf of kids and friends and families. And so really pretty exciting times.
That's great. And Chuck, you still play to this day?
Oh yeah, I sure do. Now with 3rd graders, there's I'll be coaching their baseball practice later this afternoon, and but yeah, I love to play, and I get out as often as I can, but it's just as you can imagine, not as it's not as available.
Right. And
Yeah.
what do you have in the bag? What's in the bag?
Oh, my irons are TaylorMade. Now this is going to be a hodgepodge, but my irons are TaylorMade P790s. I've got a driver 3-wood, 5-wood of Callaways.
Okay.
Scotty Volkey. I got Volkey wedges.
Right.
And Odyssey putter. So
yeah,
it's a
you
bit of
do
a
have a nice mix.
Yes. So
Right.
I just got fitted for that. And then he said, look, here's your numbers. So look, this is, here's the irons you're hitting the best. Here's the woods. And it was a PGA professional that took me through that. And so
that's good.
That's where we ended up.
Well, at least you got the right clubs, right?
Yes.
Good. So how can our listeners sign their kids up, get in contact with the organization so they can get the kids to participate?
Yeah, so first and foremost, again, going back to the PGA coach. So if they're tethered to a facility that has a PGA golf professional, that certainly is the easiest bridge. Our website is pgajrleague.com. Right. Go to the pgajrleague.com, and at that point, you'll see all about the program. There's a button where you can find the programs that are closest to you, so you can search proximity to your location, your zip code. So there's just a wealth of information on the website for that. We also have, at Twitter, our Twitter handle is at PGA Jr. League, and then the same thing with Instagram. So there's different social media and website opportunities to learn more about the program.
Well, that's great, Chuck. That's great. And man, I tell you, this has been great. It's a wealth of knowledge. And man, I really appreciate you coming on today and sharing all the information about the organization. And looking forward to that. What you said, 17-year-old?
Yes, 17U National Championship.
Okay.
Now, the 13U National Championship is televised live on ESPN.
Okay.
And that is in October. The 17U will be a little bit later in November. We won't have television coverage for that. Okay. But, it's an opportunity for the kids that had fun and success in the 13U program to also embrace, at a little older age.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, Chuck, we thank you from the Junior Golf Podcast family, man. We thank you for coming on and agreeing to do this. And hopefully we didn't take up too much of your time today.
No, Ro, it's a pleasure. Really an honor to be on the show, and certainly a pleasure to visit with you. And look, I love talking about PGA Junior League and golf. And so anytime, I can't thank you enough.
Hopefully we can see you around the country. Hopefully we can kind of meet in person one day.
I look forward to that. I really do. So when you're in Dallas, come by and we'll get a visit set up for PGA Frisco.
All right. Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate you.
All right, Ro. Have a great day. Thank you.
Have a good one now. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Junior Golf Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. We hope you enjoyed this new episode. And if you did, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Please share this episode with others who may be interested in this topic. Also, feel free to let us know what topics you'd like to see covered in future episodes. Get in touch in the comments or on any of our social media networks. See you next week for a new episode